The Hamish and Andy Show podcast. Powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's been a hard day on the tools. Lads haven't even had a chance to talk about
chocolate.
At school, we've been learning a lot of pointless dribble.
I know.
Finally, I get to learn about
Chocolate.
It's been a hard day being Kerry Ann Kennelly too, and thank God it's 3 o'clock and I can concentrate on one thing.
Chocolate. Yep. Cack.
Thank you, Hamish and Andy's happy hour.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hamish and Andy with you for the happy hour, the show that does one topic per day, Ham. For the full hour, the only gateway to this show is through the internet, hamishandandy.com/topics, and so much correspondence on chocolate.
And it often goes into a place you don't expect it to go to, Ando. I mean, we've got some predictable stuff on the show today. We're going to talk with Australia's Willy Wonka, the head chocolatier.
You've dubbed him Australia's Willy
The
Wonka.
chocolatier because he works for foreign chocolate company. Are they Swiss? Probably Swiss.
Yeah. Well, you claimed Cadbury was Australian.
Good old Australian company, Cadbury. Turns out they are British.
So we're not great at allocating countries with the correct chocolate manufacturers.
I have a terrible history on this show of geographically accurate chocolate statements. However, I was in a Lindt store, one of those Lindt stores recently, and on the wall there's some guy
Is there a whole
with
store just dedicated to Lindt?
Basically almost just the Lindor balls.
Yeah, right.
And on the wall there's some sort of fancy-looking dude in a chef's hat mixing some chocolate. And I said to the girl there, you've just got in any old photo, haven't you?
Sounds like
and she went, no, he's the guy. He's their one guy that's in charge of making all the chocolate.
Was he good-looking enough to perhaps be a model on the poster?
Yeah, it felt like a Getty Images kind of situation. Yeah. But no, he was a real-life Augustus Gloop, cleaned his act up, lost the weight, obviously grew up and got into the business.
HamishNanny.com/topics. Another Hamish has written in.
Yep.
Happy Chappy Hame has written in, and he had a chocolate disaster.
No.
It's a chocolate disaster that happened in grade 4 for him. He is 21 now. I assume he went...
chocolate disasters die hard.
I assume he wasn't like a Doogie Howser going, obviously years above his...
or a reverse Doogie Howser, in which case year 4 was last year.
Yeah, exactly. I assume it was some years ago. The disaster remains his own secret between him and his mother since then. He joins us now. Thank you very much for joining us, Hame.
Lads, how are you?
Yeah,
very
well.
Very good, Hame. Now, I don't know the situation here. For people that have heard the show before, to be aware that when you send an email in for a particular topic, it gets split 50-50 between Ando and I. This one's fallen in Ando's inbox. Lay it on me.
So here we go. Setting the scene, right. You grade 4, first time my mum ever let me make my lunch by myself, right? This is my big step up into independence right now.
Yep.
Grade 4, put the cheese sandwich in, pack in the lunchbox. I look in the pantry.
What am I going to have as a treat? Yeah,
I see
myself.
This unmarked packet of chocolate drops. And I'm talking like the Freckles used to get at the canteen. You know the ones I'm talking about?
Yep. Yeah. I think you've earned a few of those. Maybe pop them in a little Glad wrap pouch.
Absolutely, right? So I'm like, no, I'll just grab it all. I'll grab it all.
Take the bag.
Pop it in.
Yeah.
There we are. Pop it in. Recess comes around. I am the king of the playground. I'm talking hands down. I'm the boss.
You'd just be throwing out like some sort of food aid station, chucking out food to the crowd.
Kids are running from there. Occasionally, you got other people fending them
aid. You got Bono singing in the background. Let them eat chocolate.
I absolutely made it rain chocolate drops that day. I was rolling them out.
Great.
Anyway, lunchtime comes around. There's still a few left, so I'm still kind of king. I'm a bit more of a prince at lunchtime because I wasn't as full.
Fair enough. Went too hard early.
Stashes been diminished.
I went too hard too soon. But okay, get home. I'm like, Mum, look, I've got to level with you right now. Those chocolates that were in the pantry were heinous. All my mates were complaining. Got dry mouth, hard to swallow. What was going on? Mum's like, there's no chocolate in the pantry, Ham. What are you talking about? And I'm like, no, I grabbed an unmarked packet of chocolate drops. And she goes, no. You just grabbed some dog treats. and you took them to school and you handed them out as chocolate.
I don't know who I'm more shocked by here. Your behaviour there, Haim, of just grabbing unmarked food, or the fact that all the kids kept going for them. Who came back at lunchtime for more after the disaster that would have been recess?
It's year 4. Even if it tastes bad and you think it's chocolate, you're still going to eat it, right?
Yeah, until you...
So all my mates were like, oh, it sucks, but they still ate it all. They kept coming back, and I was loving it.
So does anyone know from your school, have you ever told anyone that you, in fact, gave them dog treats instead of chocolate?
No, I haven't, no.
No. Are you still friends with any of the guys from there?
I hope so. I hope so, yeah.
I hear that...
Ralph, Rover, Socks.
That's it.
I hear there's a fellow called Jono that you're still in contact with.
Indeed I am.
Shall we call him now? And you can get it off your chest.
Oh, this would be huge.
God.
And just see how he feels about being fed dog drops.
A national admission. I mean, do you just want to blast straight into it,
Yeah,
Haim?
we'll step back.
Here we go.
Hello, this is Jono.
Yeah, g'day, Jono. It's Hamish, man.
Oh, dude, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Look, bit random, bit rough, but, 15 years late. I once was a king of the playground and was handing out chocolate drops, and you may have sampled some, if you remember.
Yeah, right.
I have a little bit of confession. Found out later that day, so prior to my knowledge, that it was actually dog treats I was handing you all.
Dog treats?
Yes, dog food.
Yeah, right.
So,
Dogs.
For dogs, Jono. Sorry, it's Hamish and Andy here.
Yeah.
Sadly, this is not a prank. This is just an honest man telling another man he made him eat animal food. Jono, do you remember the day in question?
It tastes bitter now. Little sweet goodies, but no good.
Was Hamish making you guys do tricks or stuff? Do you remember?
Did you fetch a paper for him?
Do you remember rolling over before you got a chocolate?
I know, he was into some interesting stuff, but yeah.
Well, Jono, Hamish wanted that off his chest. We wanted it off his chest on behalf of the people. Thank you very much for joining us this happy hour.
Cheers,
no
boys.
worries, man. Oh, pleasure. All good.
Good work, guys.
Thanks, guys. For those who missed Gap Year Asia last night, you can get it on iTunes. It's available today. The iTunes store, the episodes.
And speaking of Gap Year, permission to go off topic, just very quickly. We only ever talk one topic a day on this show. Very rare circumstances.
Oh, everyone needs a break.
We'll go off topic. So, we've been doing the show for about 10 minutes now, and I think it's about time we go off topic. Well, just while we're talking Gap here, you and I ran across a pretty interesting situation not too long ago in Bangkok, in Thailand, doing Gap Year, having a bit of a cheeky swim in the afternoon.
Yes.
And we saw a young child, who's probably about 6 years old, in the pool with his dad. And his dad was throwing a sort of a very lightweight inflatable volleyball at him.
It wasn't actual volleyball.
Was it an actual volleyball?
Yeah, it was an actual volleyball.
I thought it was like a beach ball painted as a volleyball.
No, actual volleyball, but it seemed a little softer than your regular vol.
Just at a child's level, not Olympic level.
And
he's only 6.
And you'd be fair to say that this kid was practicing either goalkeeping or trying to spike a volley.
I hope he wasn't practicing catching.
He wasn't catching.
Because he was just
swinging at it.
swatting the ball away. But he wasn't swatting the ball away with much success.
No.
His dad was sort of throwing it closer and closer to him, hoping that he'd get hand on ball. And he'd sort of miss it. It would bounce off his head. He was wearing goggles, though.
Yeah.
Which makes it difficult to see.
And when you arrived at the pool, I had mentioned to you that he'd previously missed one and his dad got angry and threw the ball into his forehead as hard as he could.
Yeah.
And then the kid had a cry and then the dad said, come back, let's keep trying.
Here's the thing. The kid, we both were looking at the child going, this seems a bit unfair because he doesn't seem to want to be doing this.
No.
And his dad is very keen on him doing this. His dad's obviously at this early age going, look, I'm kind of earmarking you as a national goalkeeper or something for the soccer team.
Yeah, don't.
Is it okay to, in your mind, to have a word to the dad to go, stop pushing your child so hard in this direction because I don't think he's got the skills, the natural skills that you're after?
Yeah.
As a stranger.
Yeah. Well, as a
I wanted to
stranger-
do the conversation. If I'm the dad,
As a stranger,
because you
maybe not.
You were very passionate about this dad not training the child as hard. So if I'm the dad, I mean, there was a bit of a language barrier. I don't know if he would have understood us anyway. This guy in Thailand. Say this is happening in Australia. I'm throwing Jack's my son. I'm piffing the ball at him as hard as I can. Be better, be better. You know, you're 5 years old. This is where it begins. I want you to be better, son. You haven't
Excuse me.
What's up, mate? Sorry, I'm just training my son to be the future goalkeeper for the Socceroos. I want him to be Mark Schwartz's replacement.
Yeah, I'm not sure if goalkeeping's going to be for him. Just from a reserver.
Well, I happen to know that I was a very good goalkeeper. He's got my genes, and I think with a bit of training, he can get there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the case.
What makes you say that?
I'm a scout for FC Barcelona, one of the biggest soccer teams in the world. I reckon maybe using his feet might be better. So just change it up a bit. Anyway, see ya.
Aren't you that guy off the radio? Why would you lie to me? just
Japanese man, you don't get my show.
Just as simple. Surely just as simple, your child doesn't have any hand-eye coordination is enough to discourage a parent. You're probably awesome at chess or something. Just stop pushing goalieing.
Today the topic is chocolate ham, hamishnetty.com/topics if you want to get into the show. And topics always going up. Give us your thoughts.
And we wanted to get someone on the show that was a flat-out expert.
Yep.
Now, I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of this man not too many weeks ago. I was in one of the Lindt stores. And
How much floor space in a Lindt store? It just seems like a
Tons.
huge store for...
No, you get coffees as well.
Yeah, right.
Grab a coffee, grab some balls. I know what he's thinking, though, because, there's not...
A heap of varieties.
You need
of Lindt.
less than, say, a car yard.
Yeah.
Even though you only sell a few models of car. But you've just got your Lindt balls. But they come in so many different flavours.
Yeah.
I always grew up thinking you got your standard red, blue, white,
Yeah.
gold sort of thing. Maybe 3 or 4 varieties.
Are there more?
So I was in there with my wife. We were buying what she deemed to be an appropriate number of the peanut butter balls, which are phenomenal. She got $85 worth.
Whoa.
It's like a trafficable amount. We were in a country where chocolate was illegal. You go to prison for that much. It was huge. It was a huge bag, just so we could, quote, have some on hand. And in mouth, very often, I've found since that day. Anyway, we saw a picture of the guy behind the counter. I thought it was just sort of a fake picture. I was having a laugh going, oh, you guys are just trying to project this image that you've got some head guru chef. And they went, no, that's the head chocolatier. There's only one of them in Australia. I think we've got him on the line now. Thomas Schnitzler, the head chocolatier of Lindt. How are you, mate?
I'm very well. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Oh, is it also your photo on the poster?
Yes, absolutely. It is. There is some where we actually have better looking matron chocolatiers than myself, but yes, there is some of my little images floating around.
So, in my head, I imagine that you're sort of the Wonka of Lindt, and you're the only guy that knows the recipe. Is that true?
It's a romantic story. It's probably a little bit more complicated than that in the Lindt world. So not only is it sort of a secret recipe per se that actually makes up our chocolate.
So you know it in your head.
Well, I would sort of expose myself if I say yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly.
Cadbury's going to kidnap you.
Hey, Thomas.
Well, I assume you know the head chocolatier.
Absolutely.
Do you test every batch that comes through?
We definitely test every batch that
Like
comes through.
tuna, then, is there a chocolate that you would reject?
It happens quite regularly as well. So,
Right, so John
especially
Westing it.
when you have a whole country like Australia where chocolate sometimes gets exposed to warm weather, it's not good enough anymore to actually offer it to Lindt chocolate lovers.
Where does it go? Where does it go after that?
How do you find the squash stuff?
We don't have any squash stuff, Hamish. That just all gets put aside, and you get all the very, very good stuff.
I certainly did.
How highly do we prioritise white chocolate, and do you think it's high enough these days?
White chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, good point. We just released probably the best white chocolate that I've ever tasted.
I'm not a fan. I feel that, I mean, call me a snob, but I feel if someone's going white over a good dark chocolate, then probably just get attracted to the sugar content.
Really? Is there more sugar in a white?
I think there is, isn't there, Thomas?
There is a little bit more.
Good
That's what my palate detected. Can I just say, on the whole, don't give away the recipe thing. I can't help but notice on a lot of your packets at the supermarket, the Lindor ones, you do kind of give away the recipe because you've got like 70% cocoa, 80%, 85%.
Yeah.
There can't be too much more mathematics to it. Like, I mean, you were telling us there's 85% cocoa in there. I'm sure I could guess the other 15%.
But see, Hamish, at Lindt, we've been making chocolate for 170 years, so it's not something where you can just give someone a recipe of Lindt chocolate and tell them off you go. So
May I ask this, though? How high can you go on the cocoa scale? Could you make a 99% cocoa?
We do. Well, absolutely.
99?
We do make a 99%. We actually do make 100% as well.
It's just cocoa.
That's technically not a chocolate anymore, so that's why we make a 99%.
You've got to have something to stick it together.
Does shape of a chocolate change the taste?
Great
Thomas?
question.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So that's why, our Excellence, the blocks of chocolate, is actually really nice and
quite thin,
fine and thin. And that just means that it melts much quicker on your tongue.
How many shapes have you tested? Have you gone for a trapezoid or any other types of spheres?
We've discovered the Excellence, those sort of thin shapes in the 70s.
I thought I was buying a pack the other day of Excellence in Asia. Turned out to be just be the wafers, very, very thin.
Yes,
look into that. That's at Singapore Airport. Slightly misleading packaging.
Thomas, thank you very much for joining us. Lovely to have a chocolate expert on our chocolate show today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, mate. Haim, today the topic is chocolate. You can get into this show by going to hamishandy.com/topics. Happy Chappy Brent has done such things, Ham. He's emailed us before, and I think you remember he was the mixmaster back then.
Unbelievable stuff.
Created a drink called Drink X, which uses various other soft drinks. If it's put in with the right combination, it created such a nice drink.
Drink X is delicious.
Well, there's raspberry in there.
You're failing miserably, Ando. Why don't I just tell you what's in there? It's 1 part vanilla Coke.
Yes.
It's 1 part Schweppes brown creaming soda.
Yes.
It's 1 part Kirk's pink creaming soda.
Wow. So he's 1 from 1 with his
creations. The thing
yeah.
I like about the Mixmaster, certainly with the drink aspect, was he doesn't settle for the status quo.
No.
A giant company like Coca-Cola comes out and says, this is a good drink, consume at will, and he says, I won't. I'm going to make it better. I will now make it better because I don't believe you guys have tried your hardest.
Well, he's done the same thing with an eye on Kellogg's today,
Great.
and in particular
Another
Cocoa
great
Pops.
Australian company.
He says, I'm in an effort again to make the world a yummier place. Here it is. Cocoa Pops, just like a milkshake, only crunchy? Well, that's if that shake was made to stingy road shot with half a teaspoon of chocolate syrup.
Whoa.
Disgusto.
Okay. He's come out swinging.
So he then has told me about the secret ingredients for this other serving of Cocoa Pops.
Does it have a name? Does the new Cocoa Pops have a name?
He hasn't got a name.
Because I'm looking now. You've obviously gone to some effort. You've made a test sample here. There's 2 bowls of Cocoa Pops in front of me. They look similar.
They look pretty much the same.
But they've been prepared differently?
Yes. I have got the traditional Cocoa Pops for you in front of you. Go, you just take a drink of that. Take a taste of that one.
Well, can I have a go? I mean, is this the normal one?
Yeah.
Okay. I've obviously been there for a little while.
Sorry, yeah.
Very soggy.
Yeah, it's a bit soggy, but there's no crunchy.
No crunchy.
But that gives you an idea of what was
That's
going
fine.
on. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Classic food. Yeah. If you believe the monkey on the front cover of the cereals, full of things that are good for you, I question that. But, he's a cool monkey. He's telling you what's up. He's got a hat on, I think. All right. So that's, it's a regular Cocoa Pop. And now who's this over here? What have we got?
I've still got a different spoon for you.
Oh, you don't even want to contaminate spoons?
I don't want to contaminate spoons. There you go. Sorry.
Well, if it's that subtle.
Okay, it's pretty subtle.
It's second bombing. Consistency is very similar.
Yeah.
There's a sort of a thick skin of Cocoa Pops on the top. That's just because they've been there for a little while.
Mm. How's that?
How has he done that? How has he done that? Significantly more chocolatey.
Well, so it sits the topic well.
Hang on a
How
sec.
do you feel about it?
Done that?
Is it better? I bet. Can you guess?
He'd put chocolate milk in.
He has.
He'd put chocolate milk in that.
And what else?
Something's in there. If you've just tuned in, listening to a man eating Cocoa Pops.
What do you think?
Oh, something's in there.
Yeah. Well, guess this is the kid.
I think it was almost caramelised. How is he? Could he go so far as to caramelise each pop?
He says it's a standard 600ml of Big M poured over the top, so you got that.
Yep.
And he said, and then to finish it off, a light dusting of only a teaspoon of Milo.
That's what he's done.
He said,
That's what he's done.
Do not go over on the Milo, and I repeat.
And that's what he's done. You've done really well because I couldn't nail it, but something chewy, something magical, a new structure
He
seemed to
says-
encapsulate the top layer of pops.
Think of it as a light chocolate garnish. don't overdo it. Mixmaster's back.
You have done it again.
It's
Wonderful
happy hour.
stuff.
Topic today being chocolate. So much correspondence at hamishnetty.com/topics. So much so that we should get into some fast beers.
Fast beers, Ando. Top three
emails.
Number three.
Yeah.
Ando, this comes from a company man. Well, he puts his name as B. Oddie, so I can only assume it's Bill Oddie from the from the goodies.
Bill Oddie from the goodies. That's
Which
good.
is a huge celebrity endorsement. I mean, the happy hour is only new to the airwaves.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, we've been doing the show for a long time. Though we used to be in the mornings. He just wants to say, and I think this is okay, and it deals with a brand name here, and we should point out that today's show has no allegiance to any one brand.
Yeah.
We love all chocolate, but by the same token, if we have beef with the chocolate, we will let that beef be known. It's particularly if it's beef flavoured chocolate, because there's no room for that in the market. Here's the thing, though. This is a positive, Ando. He just writes and goes, just a shout out for Milky Ways. Definitely the most underrated chocolate bar on the market. People only seem to see them when you get the mini ones in the mixture packs you sometimes buy for parties.
Agreed.
He then writes, go out and buy the full size. You will not be disappointed.
Number two.
Food Scoop Ham. This is from Happy Lassie Megan Ham.
Yep, lovely.
She says, just want to send out a shout out to Cadbury's.
Just shout out, just chocolate shout outs. God, it must be so much fun being a chocolate company because people want to give you a shout out. Now, if you make casters for the bottom of tables and chairs or rolling wheels, people will definitely appreciate your product.
If you will, yeah.
If you make the wheels that go on the bottom of an office
Look at
chair,
this.
look at this, look at me back here. Now, I love that, but I would never go just send an email and go, I want to send a shout out to Mitchell's Casters. So what's the shout out to Cadbury?
Cadbury. Well, this is a bit of a backhanded shout out after all that.
It's more of an insult from a passing car.
So it said shout at. No, I said I want to shout out to Cadbury's for finally deciding to whack a whole almond in a roast almond chocolate block. Apparently
I believe they did that. Used to be one of my favourite blocks as a child. I would sometimes buy a whole block and just nibble and read Stephen King books.
I went and got one. There are whole almonds in them now.
Yeah.
I just wanted to confirm with you or deny whether they were ever half almonds.
I challenge that there weren't whole almonds. I definitely remember as a young boy, again, I had a paper round. I had the funds to buy chocolates, and I would often buy a block of almond.
And you thought they were full almonds?
I thought they were full almonds.
There you go. Shout out taken back.
Reject your shout out.
Number one.
Number one, Ham.
And this is from Happy Chappy Tom. He is adamant that seashells are the best chocolates. I believe he means the Gillian.
All right.
Mick Shell. He joins us on the line, though, because I've got some beef with him. Tom.
Chocolate beef.
Hi, g'day, boys. How are you?
Tommy, are we correct in assuming that you mean the Gillian praline chocolates?
Oh, only the best.
Oh, are they the best, though, Tom? How old are you? Tommy.
Oh, he was about to get roasted.
And you have crumbled.
He was about to come under fire.
You've melted like a 30-degree Gillian. And I'll tell you what I was going to say to him before he ran off.
We don't have time to get him back up.
Oh, doesn't matter. Here's what I was going to say, all right?
Listen without a chance for rebuttal, Tom.
I hope you're listening, Tom. You're 20. I remember what it felt like the first time I had the Gillian seashells. Through my teens, I thought they were wonderful. So one colour on the outside, a sort of a different texture on the inside.
Yep.
I'm not doing this as a sponsored endorsement, but there are better chocolates out there. To name a few, the peanut butter Lindor ball, incredible. The texture on the inside is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
You're not even a Butchie, I would say, even a Ferrero, I would say, is above a Gillian.
Well,
They're a one-trick pony. And when you grow up a little bit and your palate matures, you realise you're being tricked by just swirling white and dark chocolate together.
Dished out, you're not old enough to understand, essentially.
Grow up, Tom! No, but thanks for contacting the show. You're a bloody good bloke.
That's all we've got time for this.
Very happy chappy. You're not a happy chappy. You ran away.
Thank you very much for everyone who contributed. HamishAndy.com/topics. If you'd like to podcast the show, you can do that. Podcast is free of music if you just want the talking bits. If you are downloading our app, though, Hamish and Andy, do remember it's 3G to stream it, so it's going to take some of your data.
It's going to chew up some MBs.
Yeah, if there's 1,500 shows there, you may go over your data package for the month.
Use Mum and Dad's Wi-Fi, kids.
Yes.
Jump on the school Wi-Fi.
We'll catch you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
That was the Hamish and Andy Show podcast, powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.